Hello, Geely boy. Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we're going to go over the car camping gear that has really increased the enjoyment and made my camping experiences so much better. In the previous video I went over the motorcycle camping gear that really made an impact with me and gear that I'm going to carry over into 2025. And now I want to present to you the car camping gear, stuff that I wouldn't be able to take on a motorcycle camping experience, but very easily can take on a car camping experience. And out of all my camping this last year, this gear has it impacted me so much that I had to make this video about it. So let's start off. So you guys know that I like kettles. When I go car camping, lots of times I'm going with my significant other. I'm with friends. Sometimes I go by myself. But I have a bigger kettle. This is a Bulin titanium kettle. Works just like my Bulin, however you say that. Please don't kill me for that. And this is a much bigger one. I think it's 1600 or something milliliters. This thing is enough. This is big enough to heat water for coffee, whatnot, for 2 people. And of course, probably even 4 people if you just had 1 cup of coffee each. But for 2 people, 2 cups of coffee each. And you can also, like I said, cook your soups. You can cook anything you want in these. You can cook them, put them over the campfire. You can put them on a gas stove. You can put them on the grill. However you want to use them. And this is definitely going on to 2025 with me because it's just been so valuable. It's so easy to use. It's held up really well. And it's a quality piece of gear. If you know me, you know that I like quality gear. I usually don't go looking for equipment until a piece of my equipment just wears out. Once that piece of equipment has wore out, accidentally been broken, whatever, then I go looking for another piece of gear. And when I go looking for another piece of gear, I want the same equivalent durability, functionality as my previous piece of gear or better. And all of this gear, these are upgrades to what I did have. The next thing that has really made car camping an exceptional experience for me is this Jetboil Single Burner stove. Now it runs off of propane. And all you do is you hook this end up to the stove right here. So that hooks in and screws down on there. And then this end you screw a 1-pound propane bottle onto. And that bottle just sits there like this. This is a very robust, well put together piece of equipment that has never failed me. I've used it. I don't know how many times I've used it. It's big enough to put a 12-inch frying pan or a big pot or anything like that. And the burner is big enough that it will heat up the entire pan, not just a little bitty centerpiece. You know those like hiking, backpacking stoves that just have the little bitty burner about that big around? Yeah, this is like your burner at home. And you can cook just like you're at home. It doesn't run through propane real fast. A 1-pound bottle has lasted every weekend trip. So I'm cooking 6 to 9 times, heating up water, all of that with this stove. And it's been a really good piece of equipment. And I will continue to use this in 2025. I'm expecting to continue to use this in 2026, 27, 28. I don't know how long it's going to last. Hopefully you'll be around to find out. Okay, the next piece of gear that has really improved my camping experience is this. This is the little Red Campfire. And up here in the Pacific Northwest, it's one of the wettest areas in the country. But during the summertime, it doesn't rain. So there's about 4 or 5 months of the year that there's no rain. And it's 85, 90, 95 degrees, a light wind, and things really do dry out. And in the Pacific Northwest, the woods are thick and lush, and during the summer, things get dried, the dead things, they break down really quickly, and so there's fire bans, and you can't have a regular wood fire. For most of the camping season here in the Pacific Northwest, you can't have a campfire. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is, and so we have to deal with that. This little Red Campfire, it's got 3 clips that hold the lid on. And it runs off of propane, just a regulated propane. And I use a big, like 20-pound propane bottle with this. And one bottle, I haven't used more than half of a tank over an entire 3-day camping trip with this. But it mimics a campfire. And it's something that several people can sit around, and it's amazing. The flames will get that high. They're big old hot flames. And being able to just turn it on and turn it off when you want is amazing. And you know as well as I do that camping just isn't camping without a campfire. It's a whole different experience without a campfire. And this running off of propane, you can still cook hot dogs, marshmallows. You could set up a grill over the top of this and cook your steak on it. You can still use it like a campfire. So this has been another piece of gear that I just don't want to go without in 2025, and I will continue to use this as long as I can. So far, several camping trips, this has held up well. These clips aren't very strong, but I've been pretty gentle with them, and they've held on well. So if you take care of your stuff, that's what happens, right? The little Red Campfire. The next thing I want to go over, when I was a little kid, we didn't have a lot of, there were 6-volt battery flashlights. But a 6-volt battery flashlight isn't like a floodlight where it'll light up your whole campsite. So what we had back in my day when I was a little kid was white gas or camping fuel lanterns. And I had to get this last year because it's just, to me, it's a little bit nostalgic for me. And it runs off of, that's the case that it comes in just to keep, because this globe is glass, and it runs off of mantles that you just tie on there. So if the mantle runs out, rots, tears up, or whatever, you can put new mantles on it. You put the gas in here, just white gas or camping fuel, And then this is how you pressurize it. So this is a pump that pressurizes the gas inside of this container and pushes the gas up through into the mantles. And you just light it through the holes in the bottom here. And that puts off a lot of light. It's amazing how much light it puts off. But to me, this is an essential part of a good camping trip. A good campsite is to have a gas lantern. Just that yellowish white glow that I remember as a kid that kind of lights up the whole campsite. And this will continue with me. And Coleman has been making these things for I don't know how long. 50, 60, 70 years. Maybe longer. I don't know. You could look it up and see. But they last for a long time. And they're not very expensive. Well worth the money. Learn how to use it. And you'll really appreciate what it adds to your camping experience. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk about, when I go car camping, I'm still sleeping in a tent. I don't sleep in my car. I don't have a camp trailer or anything. So I'm still sleeping in a tent. But now, because I have a little bit more room to bring some more luxury items, more comfort items, I bring a cot. And this is the Helinox Cot 1 extra large it's the Cot Max Convertible. And it also, I don't have, but I am going to get because I use this so much. It's only about this high off the ground. So when you're only that high off the ground, it still feels like you're sleeping on the ground. But there's legs that make it like 15 inches up off the ground. So it feels a little bit more like your bed at home. And I'm going to get the legs that just attach to this frame. And I tell you what, when you have a good night's sleep, the next day is so much better than if you didn't get a good night's sleep. So everything that I can do to increase my comfort of sleep, I do it because I know how much that impacts the well-being and joy I get from each day being out there in the woods. So sleeping is really important to me. It probably is to you too. And a good cot is it's worth its weight to take with you in a car. This cot is like 30 inches wide, and it's big enough. If you're 6'6" or 6'8", your toes aren't going to hang off the end. Good cot. It's held up well. I've used it a lot, and it'll continue to be used in 2025. So, as we wind down this 2024 camping season, I wish you all the best in 2025, and I hope you get some really good gear to increase the value of your camping experiences. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.